Hey people, this is Mindful Talks podcast. Welcome to the very first episode of hashtag Beyond Work Culture. In this series, we're going to speak not just about the work culture, but we will be speaking how with our podcast episodes, your workplace won't be the same. It will be enhanced and you'll enjoy the whole process of working in an office. You'll learn a lot and you'll explore a lot. So yes, this is gonna be the whole scenario in Beyond Work Culture series. So without any further ado, let's get started with 5 conversations at work with more meaning. The very first is crucial conversation. So we have surface level chats regarding topics at work, such as daily to-dos like targets, projects, or it goes like a lot of stuffs. So it's very simple, to talk about these things, and it's very casual thing, it's very normal to speak about such topics. But it's not that subject that talks aren't worthwhile, but it's just that we merely have subject talks at work. We miss out on meaningfully strengthening our connections. So if you feel worried, uncomfortable, or anything else before a chat, it's likely that it won't be a pure content conversation. It is not only about the what. Instead, we might address the underlying pattern or connection issues and get to the button of the why. So we begin to identify critical discussions by focusing on where and with whom we experience bad emotions at work. So what continues to irritate us? Where am I getting unheard? Where are we failing to articulate what we think or what we feel? So these are the critical discussions that we must all prioritize. The second point is very tricky, and it goes like different perspectives are there on the ground of corporate. So what should the outcome of this discussion be? It's really beneficial to prepare this question from many angles, like what do I desire for myself? What do I want the other person to have? What am I hoping from our bonding or relationship with our colleague? What do I want for our company? And that's where your answers lies. So of course you should carry this different perspective and you should look to this whole scenario and discuss the same accordingly. The third point is make people comfortable. Consider any of the stories you were taught as a child. Remember the villain who appeared to care for the hero while secretly plotting to cook them in their jhal, or what we can say trick. So don't trust them, you said. While such examples exaggerate the scenario, most people have gained a feel of when their counterpart is not acting with good intentions. We will most likely to fail if we engage in dialogue with malice. As a result, it's very important that we clarify our intentions. Don't start the conversations until you have framed your motive in a way that honors all the conversation colleagues. So it's just like directly or indirectly you need to appreciate and respect your colleague before speaking to him or her. Motives might include like investigating an issue or discovering the truth or establishing a win-win scenario, achieving long-term outcomes, or improving a connection. We prefer to spend a lot of time getting the inspiration correct and in a genuine way, in a very real way, rather than being fake. Sharing our positive intentions upfront is like to putting down one's own arm and saying, hey, I'm here because I want the best for us and our relationship. So what if the talk began without incident, but you observe the other person growing increasingly quiet or resorting to verbal violence? So this might come through sarcasm, sugarcoating, when expressing opinions use phrases like some individuals rather than I, changing the subject, withdrawing from the discussions, the use of absolutes like the worst, the best, the only, name calling, taking controls of a conversation by speaking often and loudly, instructive questions, making fun of others or their ideas, and so on. So priority should be given to promptly rebuilding the safety. Discuss safely issues honestly and be clear about what you don't mean. So continue the talk only once you have re-established a safety and respect. The fourth point is the bridge of newness. So, whenever we talk, two or more realities collide and form something very new. Every information, opinion, concept, experience, and emotion that we and the persons with whom we are conversing contribute to a pool of common meaning. It is specific to each discourse and can only be completed when everyone feels comfortable contributing. It's our common ground and it's critical to going forward predictively. I adore the appreciative manner of approaching a topic. It enabled me personally to be more deliberate about what I provide and how I contribute. And when we say contribute, just take this scenario, how your contributions will lead to the growth of the company you are working in. So say for example, taking care of the digital marketing. So how with digital marketing my company will grow? So you need to ask this to yourself every day before you come to your desk. Last but not the least, be more memorable. So what about the non-essential chats that occur after work or over lunch? Those we may classify as a small talk. They are less profound, yet they are important for strengthening our connections because they help people recognize us as humans with our differences and uniqueness, what we can say. So spend a lot of time thinking about how much your personality will want to express at work without being inappropriate. So it's like How to Be a Good Guest by the School of Life is a brief book that personally I recommend you all to read. And essentially, don't be a reflection of the other person, है ना? So a good real workplace discussion is about taking conscious interpersonal risks, and I would rather say be memorable blurb than an unmemorable blurb. Lastly, just keep these 5 points as one of your dictionaries at your workplace. And if you guys have any suggestions or any opinions, more than happy and more than welcomed. Share it in our Instagram handles. It's Mind Inventory. And definitely keep on listening to us. And there are a lot of talks we do. It's like we speak about Tech at Go, we speak about decoding UI UX, Game Dev Club, and so on. So yes, with this, let's end today's episode. We'll see you in the next episode. Till then, keep rocking.